Welcome back. I'm Goddess Dawn. It's Friday, August 16th, 2019. Happy Friday to you, or if you're listening to this on a different day, happy whatever day that is to you. I'm back again today with some R.Kelly updates and my take on them, as always. Just a quick note, my last video that I recorded was last Friday, and these updates have happened throughout the week up to this date. I've been working on a video that I recorded last Sunday, working on editing all week. It's kind of long, but I hope you guys do take the time to watch it because it's taken me a long time to get it edited. In the meantime, I'm here with these updates. Thank you for joining me. Feel free to add your thoughts in the comments so we can discuss. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, and like the video also while you're at it. Now let's get on to it. So they're saying that R.Kelly had refused transport and was a no-show for his court hearing yesterday. It's being reported that a routine pretrial hearing updating the judge on evidence and bail issues went on without him, but Cook County Judge Lawrence Flood wanted to know why R.Kelly didn't make court. The defendant was to be brought to court today. That was all worked out. The sheriffs were going to be bringing him over, said Cook County Assistant State's Attorney Jennifer Gonzalez. As I understand it, he refused transport, and so that is why the defendant is not before your honor today. The defense lawyer, Steve Greenberg, said that's not 100% true, but then he declined to fully explain why his client didn't make it out of the Metropolitan Correctional Center in downtown Chicago. I don't want to discuss matters that I discussed with the U.S. Marshal Service in open court, Greenberg said. Suffice to say, the Marshal Service says that moving Mr. Kelly is a large undertaking. The next court date for R.Kelly in the Chicago case is September 17th, and Judge Flood reminded both sides we will have Mr. Kelly here then. Just a little on this. So they're saying that he's refusing transport to court. So he's upset, clearly, but his attorney didn't give the reason as to why. He said he discussed it with the Marshal Service but didn't want to talk to the judge about it. Maybe he doesn't know why. Seems like Greenberg is out of the loop. He's been making up stories in the press, or I don't know if he's making them up, but we can't trust him. So we don't know if what he's saying is true ever, even here in court. Judge Flood is mad. He ain't having this, and all R.Kelly is doing is getting the judge even more upset. The judge says that he's going to proceed toward a trial despite the 3 new cases that are being brought against R.Kelly. Flood asked attorneys if there's an agreement about which of the 4 cases should proceed first. When a prosecutor said it hadn't been decided, Flood said he'd proceed for now as if no other cases existed. So clearly none of the officials or other judges are communicating with each other. Seems that they would have some sort of protocol in case for when a defendant is facing different charges in different jurisdictions. Maybe this is a precedent. Maybe R.Kelly is the first of all men to face multiple charges in multiple states and jurisdictions. It says here that the multiple cases complicate moving Kelly from a downtown Chicago jail to different hearings. A defense lawyer said, and that's probably Greenberg they're referring to, said Kelly didn't appear Thursday because of transportation issues. So there's transportation issues, but the transportation issues seem to lie with R.Kelly and not with the courts or the authorities. The authorities don't have issues transporting someone to a court hearing. They're saying that it's been a challenge, but it's not impossible. So for R.Kelly to refuse transport, I didn't even know that prisoners had a right to refuse transport. I guess we will find out more about this later. But for now, it just all seems pretty suspect. Another note that was brought to light this week is that R.Kelly is trying to hire Michael Jackson's former attorney, Tom Mesereau. I call him Michael Jackson's attorney, that's what they're calling him in the press. He was also Robert Blake's attorney. If you guys remember, Robert Blake was the actor. He had that detective show. that he's known for. He was accused of killing his wife, and this attorney is said to have gotten him off of that. And I guess R. Kelly is over his current legal team, and he wants this guy to represent him. It says that Mesereau is one of the best and most sought-after criminal defense attorneys in the country, and he's turned prosecutors flat-footed in trials where it seemed open and shut against the client. So with his past record, it seems ideal for Kelly to have this guy on his team because Greenberg is a clown. So it would be in his best interest to have a Tom Mesereau on his case. However, Tom Mesereau doesn't come cheap, and I doubt that he does pro bono cases, especially for someone of the likes of R. Kelly, accused of such crimes, and he doesn't have money, apparently. And that's what TMZ is saying, that Tom doesn't come cheap and the money has become super tight in Kelly's world. He's already hired a battery of lawyers and he's making next to nothing. We're told that Kelly and his team are trying to figure out ways to raise the money to hire Mesereau. As for why the singer wants to 86 his current attorney, Steve Greenberg, and his team, our sources say R. Kelly believes they care way too much about getting media attention for themselves. Greenberg calls the whole thing a complete load of crap. So they go on to say that R. Kelly's financial woes have been well documented. He needed outside help to pay his initial $100K bond and then spent additional time behind bars because he couldn't ante up $161K in back child support to his ex-wife, R.Kelly. And he's currently paying her $21K a month now in child support. I'm very curious to know if those payments have been made since he's been locked up, or a payment. I think it's been about a month now since he's been in jail. It says the criminal cases keep piling on. Kelly was recently hit with more sex crime charges in Minnesota, blah, 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 blah. So it says locking down the cash for Mesereau appears to be the final Hail Mary for freedom for R. Kelly. So things, are looking really bleak. This news doesn't mean that there's hope, because I don't see Mesereau defending R. Kelly. But he may, because he himself is a media hound. If he thinks Greenberg is a hound, then Mesereau, he has another thing coming if he's going to deal with Mesereau. The difference is that Mesereau seems to be competent versus Greenberg, who is not. The last thing I want to touch on is they're saying the U.S. Attorney's Office has revealed today that it has R. Kelly's drugstore and urgent care receipts, bolstering its allegation that the disgraced singer exposed his alleged victims to an STD. In an August 15th letter to Kelly's lawyers, Assistant U.S. Attorney Elizabeth Geddes said that her office had Kelly's health and medical records from Walgreens, University Health Systems, and urgent care, adding weight to the claim that Kelly had knowingly infected at least one woman with the herpes virus. Kelly's lawyers have denied that he gave the alleged victim the incurable illness and contended that the government has zero evidence. Besides Kelly's medical information, Getty said the government has receipts for hotel stays, Ubers, bank records for both Kelly and his employees, and airline receipts for Kelly and his alleged victims that prove he transported them from state to state. The government also said that it served search warrants on Apple Inc. and AT&T for Kelly's records and reserved its right to seize emails that the Pied Piper sent from federal lockup, according to the letter. And this is all because the feds are alleging that for more than 20 years, Kelly was the head of a criminal enterprise that funneled schoolgirls from around the country to him to be sexually assaulted. Besides racketeering, he's been indicted on charges of violating the Mann Act, kidnapping, and forced labor. He pled not guilty, as we all know, to the charges last month, but the judge in the case ordered him held without bail out of fear that he might try to bribe or intimidate witnesses. Says that his legal team has not responded to the government as of today, as of yet. I'm sure Greenberg is going to have something to say. He probably has already done so by the time this is published. I want to say that, the video that I'm currently working on, I touch on some things regarding the fact that R. Kelly is probably not going to give up anybody or take a plea deal, because he's still probably maintaining his innocence throughout all of this. This is the type of guy that he is. No accountability, stubborn, and in his ways. Sounds like he's also in his feelings based on the fact that he refused to be transported. Again, we don't know if any of this is true. I want to remind you, anything that we're getting is in question. And, you know, it'd be awesome if Gail could get another interview while he's in jail and get the information straight from him as to what's going on as far as his legal team and his wants and if he's being treated well and things of that nature. But I doubt that that's going to happen. He is in prison. He's supposed to be devoid of rights, and which is why I'm surprised that he has the choice to refuse transport. I'm gonna say that once again. But I'm gonna leave this here. I just wanted to, you know, update since my last video last week. I had planned on having my new video up by now, but it's taken quite some time to edit it because it's a little bit long. Hopefully you guys will watch it. But all that being said, thanks as always for checking me out. And until next time, peace.